Okay folks, in these sections here of the wheel parts, wheel covers, some nasty ejector pins in there, so they're going to have to be taken care of as well. Okay, this section here and this section here make up the wing spar. There's a ejector pin on each of those, so they have to be taken care of. On here, each of this top section and lower section, there's a mould seam, so that has to be taken care of as well. So this is easy to do, you just give it a bit of a light sand, taking care of those seams. And then when it comes to glue these parts together, this is very simple. These go together like so. That's going to go inside the fuselage halves, which corresponds with these two holes, which will sit like that and support the wings. Plus these sections are the chromate yellow as well, so we're going to clean these up and paint these as well. Okay, this is the cowling with the louvers type thing. This is the piece that is closed. I'm going with the closed option. The open option is a bit dodgy in my opinion, so this is the main cowling. This will get slotted in to here, which is handy. Plus the markings we're doing, this whole tie cowling is silver and this section of the flaps are blue, so we can paint them separately and glue them into place, and it requires not so much masking off and stuff, so that's going to be handy. And plus on the inside of this cowling is the chromate yellow. I've got the wings as well, don't forget to paint the inside of the wheel bay is chromate yellow. The upper section of the wings is chromate yellow, so there's quite a lot of chromate yellow segments to paint. Okay folks, I made not a mistake, but I jumped ahead accidentally and realised I should have added some parts into the wheel bay for the photo etch. So ignore me painting that. This is a step we should have done, is extra detail parts and some plumbing and stuff like that. So they are some of these segments on this sprue here, so these parts here, and some of the plumbing and these segments down the bottom here. So what I'll do is I'll put them in, super glue them and show you what it looks like, and then we repaint it. So there you are folks, that is all the detail parts that is required. It requires a little bit of scratch building, it requires a little bit of stretch screw for some reason, and the metal parts is what I missed out. It calls out for the one of the struts for the landing gear doors to go in now. Unfortunately, because of that wiring, there's no other way of doing it, you can't do it later. So our next step is to repeat this process on the other side. Okay, next segment would be part of the bulkhead. These parts go together just like so. We'll glue that in now quickly. Let's line up some glue in here. Should be sufficient. Slot these in. And now this section here is going to have to be chromate yellow as well. This part underneath is going to have to be, according to instructions, like a silver metal colour. You don't really see much of these because once you've got your cowling and this part goes here for the louvers and stuff, and then this bit slots in behind it, and this is basically, and the engine will sit in the middle, so you won't see an awful lot down there anyway. Okay, next section is the engine parts. This is what the two engine parts are like, back and front. They have keys, they pretty much go into one way. You hear the tap. The front piece goes on the front. Again, it is keyed, but I'm going to make this better by adding wiring. So before I do all of this, I'm going to have to break it down again. And you see on these instructions, each of the engines has little pieces of wire or metal parts for the engine, which you can see there, which are these pieces, and then you've got the wiring loom to go over the front. So okay, now we've done a black base. Next is to do dry brushing. We can use our trusty old metal grey colour, good old shake. So now we've done the dry brushing and we've got our desired effect. I don't know how well you can see it, but on these leading edge of the engines, these like arms, I don't know what they are, they're black, so we're going to use our trusty Posca pens, and it's just a case of marking them in. You don't really see it all that well because it's got black base and they're very fine. Next, to put the engines together, you've got your centre piece. This is the back of the engine, so this piece will go in here. Don't glue this into place because this is allows the propeller to spin. This, find the keyway, will get locked into there, and then we have the wiring harness to go on, which is fallow etch, which is what you see here. This is going to be some kind of metal colour as well. Again, I'll do this off camera because I say I don't like working with fallow etch all the best of times, and you've got to fold them over the back of your cylinders. So there you go, I've done some of the wiring. I haven't completely glued them into place, I just folded them around the back. I need to tidy them up a bit more, but the basics of what you're going to see inside is not an awful lot anyway, but it looks better than just a plain kit engine. This piece is going to have to be grey still anyway, but at the end of the day, this is what you're going to see. It's not an awful lot. Don't know how well it picks up on camera. We can also attach it around this segment of the engine. To make it a little bit oily.